We are pleased to dedicate this session to CBS Systems, one of this year's bronze partners whose crucial support has been instrumental in bringing our vision to life. This is yet another success in our enduring collaboration, and we look forward for many more in future. Next, we have Milan Bjeloglav, CEO of CBS Systems. Milan will be presenting AI-powered insights mining. CBS BrandPulse solves all hallucinations. In this session, he will demonstrate how CBS BrandPulse integrates with OpenAI to guide large language models in analyzing data accurately and avoiding errors. Milan will showcase how this approach enables robust insights and generates intelligent hypotheses for marketing and sales strategies. Please welcome Milan Bjeloglav to the stage.
Thank you. I'll do the presentation from my laptop, so I guess we can share the screen. So again, thanks for everyone for joining. My name is Milan, and I'm a long-term data lover and data professional. For over 20 years now, I've been helping different kind of businesses make the optimal use of their data for particular business purposes across industries. Today, I'm going to talk a bit how we approached mining of insights from quite a robust set of data sources, and in doing so, avoid hallucinations, which is one of the biggest challenges in AI world, right? Especially when you let AI based on LLMs analyze the data, which naturally it hasn't been built for, right? So we'll talk about how we solve that challenge and how we approach this problem overall. So first of all, a bit on who we are. Our mission is basically to bring simplicity for advanced analytics, and in doing so, help big companies get closer to their customers in an optimal manner, right? So we work with big brands, big retailers in different industries, as well as with leading market researchers. And we have a couple of different propositions, but all of them are focused on data mining, or mining the appropriate data in an optimal way so that its path to insights gets less complex. And one of the most dominant use cases of our technology is through our BrandPulse platform, which is oriented towards brands and helps them build data-driven strategies. And in order to do that, brands need to digest a lot of different data sources. Some of them are internal, and some of them are external. So one of the key value adds of our platform is actually connecting the insights mining, or mining insights from both external and internal data, and fusing them into valuable information for both marketeers, sales guys, and so on. So these data sources typically come from, first of all, consumer psychology. Everything in consumer industry is focused on what consumers think, how they react to different things, and on their behavior, right? So there is a lot of external data that describes that in form of, first of all, different kind of market researches. And then there are companies that track overall market landscape, performance of different products, different brands, different product features, and so on. So there is, first of all, fusion of these kind of data sources, which are typically looked at in a siloed way, people-centric data versus the retail-centric data. Then there is a big data coming from the sales world, either from POSs, brick and mortar shops, large loyalty programs, as well as e-commerce. And this is very rich data sources, as they actually describe a lot consumer behavior as well. They contain purchase history of individuals, and therefore tell a whole story on their profiling and their different behaviors. There is a lot of data coming from distributors and B2B world as well. So yeah, quite a complex data landscape, and somehow the data analysts need to navigate that. And even bigger challenge is to get all of that data in an easily digestible form and still interactive form and in flexible form to business users, so who are not that much data aware, like seasoned data analysts. So yeah, our platform helps them tackle these challenges. So there are parts of our platform which are focused on really people who know the data and who can navigate the data easily and really want a lot of powerful analytics. But they are not really the majority of the crowd. The biggest crowd is in not so data savvy world, which are more business users who need to have kind of a guided path to mining these insights for different kind of business scenarios. And for them, we created really guided interactive modules with abundance of industry content, which is quite near to their everyday work, and that actually helps them get this information quite quickly. However, even when we try to be as specific as possible how they need to get these insights and how they need to interpret them through the platform, we still are faced with some of challenges that come from a human psychology. I'm not going to go into that, but first of all, for the average Joe user, when he sees there is a lot of different data sources, he's being overwhelmed, right? So too many options, too many things to look at, and too much knowledge is required to navigate these data sources. Then, even if we give them these interactive dashboards, which are really point him to the direction of what you need to analyze with some pack shots or pictures of products and drawing out consumer personas and so on, still it requires focus and some kind of awareness of the data behind it. And that still can be kind of an obstacle to get them to use this platform on everyday basis. So they still come back to us or to other consulting companies who then use our platform to give them PowerPoint slides that are just point like, you need to create this kind of marketing strategy, and this is how you activate these people, and this is who you need to go in these kind of markets. And then we started experimenting with LLM. How can LLM then bridge this gap or solve this challenge? In the beginning, it was quite hectic, to be honest, as LLM could not really digest properly the semantics of the data. But then we started optimizing the approach. How do we help the LLM properly understand the semantics of the data, interpret some of the analytics coming out from the platform, and bring it to the end user? So what we did is, first of all, we feed the AI with a proper knowledge database, which describes these semantics in properly interpreting the metadata of all the data sources. right? So it can connect the dots. Which components of the data are talking about what kind of business question or business dimension, right? So that's essential in guiding the AI properly. Luckily, our platform is made in a way that it describes all of the data natively in a human language. And that's a very good deal for LLM, because it can understand the semantics of human-based languages quite good. So after this is done, the end user actually prompts directly for business insights. By understanding these semantics from the knowledge database, OpenAI can construct a proper analysis for BrandPulse. So it actually constructs the what kind of data components should be used in what way so that these insights can be generated. So we do not let LLM analyze the data because that's not what it's made for, but we provide LLM with already pre-cooked numbers or already fully cooked numbers and relevant statistics, point to the numbers that it needs to interpret, give him the context of how to understand these numbers, and then generate the insights, generate the language around it, the storyline behind the numbers for the end users. And that it can do. At least the latest versions of OpenAI are showing promising results. So I'm going to show you that. That's the reason why I want laptop. So just a little step back. Yeah, so this is how the platform looks like. As you can see, there are a lot of data components. Maybe for decent data analyst, this doesn't look scary, but for an average user, it does. So we have some external data from market research. Then we have market landscape data. Then we have some sales data from shops, and then Facebook online marketing data. So a lot of different data sources, each of them having different set of KPIs here. So you really, even though everything is drag and drop and click, you really need to know where you drag and drop and click. So even if the things are not that difficult like this, I need to analyze primary users of different carbonated drinks across different lifestyle segments. And yeah, still a lot of numbers on the screen. And I still need to know what do I choose, even though I can directly read this and tell a story that it's Coca-Cola guys who are into sports and technology and whatever different type of media. There is still a lot of knowledge required for this. Even when we, as I mentioned, when we give them some interactive dashboards where they can do, for example, through this brand funneling, profiling of primary users of Coca-Cola in this case, and versus Cocta, and through their lifestyle, and even let the system do some regression analysis to give me most important variables to look at. So now my set of what I need to look at is still narrowing down. Still, this doesn't do the trick, right? For some marketing folks, this is still too much because I still need to read these colorful numbers and create some kind of a story behind it. I'd rather have it on slides. So that's where AI helps. So I'm just now prompting. So this is now the new generation of how we interface with the data and with insights. So here I'm just prompting, please describe typical primary uses of soda drinks in terms of demographics and lifestyle, and focus on the top brands. So first step, yeah, it knows how to properly structure the data, the analysis. It chooses the right variables because it understands the context of what I'm asking for and can properly interpret the data. And then it gives me the reason why AI chose these variables. It looks quite reasonable. It gives me the results. I can still see the structure. it makes sense. So I have my demographics, I have my brands. If I scroll here, I have also the lifestyle. So all the right things are in place. I don't need to read the numbers. I'll let the AI do that for me. And now the AI goes, once again, for maybe those who are not aware of some statistics, the colorful numbers here are the ones that are most important statistically, which means they are telling the story. These are the ones that we need to read because they actually make the difference between these brands and they're safe to be interpreted. So we tell AI, this is what you need to focus on. Do not deviate from this. Do not hypothesize on any other things. Just follow these things. And it's doing that precisely. So it reads the numbers. It sees that, okay, Coca-Cola is dominant. I see that younger groups have their preference. The middle-aged groups have their own preference, and so on. And it actually focuses the attention to the outliers, to the colorful numbers, if you remember. Reading properly that Coca-Cola is dominating the younger age groups via Schweppes. It's for, let's say, more mid-age guys, or the best age guys. And the traditional brands are lower, much lower on younger demographics. Based on that and some lifestyle insights, it actually gives quite a decent description of the insights, which in this form can be used by a marketeer, can be easily digested by a marketeer because it really speaks in their language. The good thing is it properly connects the right numbers with the general knowledge that this LLM has. And then I can continue with this and then ask further, okay, please now focus on primary users of Kokta in Zagreb and tell me their media and shopping preferences. It knows properly to structure these analyses, filtering only Zagreb region and Kokta users, and actually taking the shopping and media preferences, giving me, this is the part where it needs to generate the insights, unfortunately, giving me the information I need to form the marketing strategy. So far, we have positive experiences in using the AI in this way. However, there are still some challenges, especially in working with big transactional data, where it needs to run a couple of different analyses, so it's not just a one-shot analytical step, but it needs to run multiple analyses in order to give a proper answer. And forcing AI to do so can be tricky, but yeah, from where we started, I think now it's already kind of a long way, and there is a very bright light at the end of the tunnel. Now we'll continue with connecting these insights from multiple data sources and still optimizing and the precision of the insights themselves.
So, do we have questions? Yes? Just please wait for the mic.
Thank you for this fascinating presentation. So at first it seems that your application is quite domain specific, but then I kind of realize it really isn't. This is very abstract. What you're doing is basically some sequences of numbers, which are from JSON, and then you're using text to interpret them. Yeah. For instance, this might sound crazy. Instead of asking whether Gen Y or Z prefers Coca-Cola over Schweppes, you may ask what are the trends at what days is US dollar correlated with gold. True. And not anti-correlated. True. Based on this or that pattern. And by the way, it is very well known what are primary patterns, such as interest rates or something. Yeah. And then the whole setup is really very much the same, except that your domain semantics is completely different.
True, true. So yes, so the platform itself is data agnostic. It's just that the industry content that we build on top of it helps this proper semantic connection for AI. And that's a crucial step. But sure, we can connect the financial services, whatever, if we would have an industry champion sitting and actually guiding the LLMs with a proper knowledge database for a day or two. That it can work very well. We tried in other industries and in other domains. It works in pretty much the same way. True.
We have another question, please.
Hi. Yeah. First of all, great talk. We're actually doing very similar things, but I wanted to ask about the data setup step. So you talked about, the semantic modeling. What goes into that when you're trying to set up some new data source from some X domain? Do you use AI to help describe the metadata and so on? Yeah, can you talk about this a bit?
Yeah, so rightfully this is the crucial, the one at the bottom is the magical step. Yes, we use AI to enrich the semantics. And what we learned is that sometimes less is better, so we do not overwhelm. So you still need, to your point as well, you still need some domain expertise to understand what are the critical metadata descriptors that you need to give him, but not to over-exaggerate. And because if you give him too much, then it's confused, it tries to go outside of the box, and that's where it fails, usually. So you need to stay precise to key business dimensions. Give him a sentence or two with some key words for each of the data dimensions, and then it can work pretty well. And it can, so the process itself per data source for typical transactional data sources of an industry can take for several days. It's not like weeks or whatever, maybe 2 or 3 days.
Okay, so does the user input like this metadata? Okay.
It's our consultants.
Okay.
It's not data scientists, it's not even necessarily data analysts, it's the industry people. Yep.
We have time for more questions. Anyone? Well, thank you very much for now, and thank you for being with us here today.
Thank you.
This is for you.
Thank you.